Hello, viewers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Erongo Talk. I'm your host, Nicanor Nangolo, and today we are here at the Walvis Bay Municipality, where, as per usual, we bring you your latest news updates, weather tides, and today we also speak to Cliff Shikuambi, who tells us more about the Erongo Business and Tourism Expo, how it went down, and what we can also expect for next year. So make sure to stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break. And now for our first story of the day, the Wesco Group of Companies officially launched its Oranjemund branch recently. The mayor of the town, Elias Kasemba, welcomed the move and hailed the opening of the office as another massive development for the town. Oranjemund has had a productive 2022. This shows that we are moving in the right direction in transforming our town. Wesco's investment is evidence of the company's willingness to contribute towards the economic growth, future prosperity, and transformation of Oranjemund. Kasemba thanked the management of Wesco, the contractors involved, and the dedicated workers who participated in making the venture a reality in Oranjemund. He also expressed the hope that Wesco would buy into the vision of the town council to uplifting the local community through job creation, addressing the issue of land and housing, as well as to maintain its social responsibility through charitable giving and supporting local businesses. George Fransman, the director of Wesco, thanked Namdeb for making the premises available for renting and enabling Wesco to extend its activities to Oranjemund. Fransman explained that the name of the company stems from the West Coast Engineering and Salvage Services, a company started by his partner Anton Pretorius in Walvis Bay. And now for our second story of the day, the Walvis Bay Corridor Group engaged various stakeholders and lobbied Zimbabwean logistic businesses to make use of the port of Walvis Bay as part of a marketing drive. According to Mbahupu Sivuikwa, the CEO of the Walvis Bay Corridor Group, these engagements were fruitful as they culminated in a proposed strategic alliance with Bark Logistics, one of Zimbabwe's biggest transport and logistic companies, with various partnerships that enable it to have an international reach. The proposed partnership will enable Bark Logistics to assist Walvis Bay Corridor Group with marketing and business development activities in Zimbabwe, in exchange for the Walvis Bay Corridor Group opening opportunities for Zimbabwean cargo through Namibia. The collaboration ensures that the Walvis Bay port and corridors are consistently promoted in the Zimbabwean market. Chiviko explained that the strategic partnership with Bark Logistics aims to drive volumes on the import and export of goods from Zimbabwe via the port of Walvis Bay. We are forming a partnership with Bark Logistics. We complement one another and we will share information and possibly increase our market share while at the same time ensuring that we create efficiency in the supply chain. And now for our third and final story, flights between Eros Airport in Windhoek and Walvis Bay International Airport is a reality. Fly Namibia recently launched its 3 days a week flight schedule between Windhoek and Walvis Bay. The flights commenced on the 28th of October and sales have already started. The route between Eros Airport, Windhoek and Walvis Bay will be serviced 3 days a week on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. A 14-seater Beechcraft 1900 will be used for the flights, which will cost between 1,950 and 2,290 Namibian dollars, depending on the time of the month. In a speech made on behalf of the Erongo Governor, Neville Andre, the Erongo Regional Council Chairperson Benita Imbaba stated that the timing of the launch of a direct flight could not have come at a better time. This is a given fact that the tourism industry was on its knees as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. This launch falls within our strategy to recover the regional economy, especially our tourism industry. Walvis Bay is an important logistical port for the Southern Africa as it provides port facilities for the import and export of cargo for the rest of Namibia, Zambia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as Botswana. Now, if you want to read more on this or any of our other stories, you can check out our website. That's at www.erongo.com.na. Up next, we have our interview, so make sure to stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break.
Erongo Talk brings you community news in the Erongo region. Erongo Talk aims to reach coastal residents, keeping them updated on what's happening in their community. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 102.com, and cross-shared on the following Facebook platforms: Erongo, The Republican, Algemeine Zeitung, Namibian Sun, and Namibia Media Holdings. Erongo Talk focuses on community news, weather update, fishing report, helpful tips, as well as sport and entertainment. For news-related or advertising queries, contact Erongo Talk at synergy.com.na. Erongo Talk, our community, your news.
The My.NA Property Focus page is published every Tuesday in the Market Watch, which is inserted into the Republican, Namibian Sun, and Algemeine Zeitung. The My.NA Properties Focus page provides viewers with the best in-class property content, engaging interviews, the latest property news, property-related products and services, including interior design, decor, DIY, gardening, property finance and insurance, and so much more. For property-related news and advertising, contact My.NA at synergy.com.na and talk to the My.NA property team.
Market Watch is a daily publication covering the most important market-related topics. You'll find the economic indicators and company news in brief on a daily basis. Market Watch also features interesting and informative focus topics like medical, properties, and cars weekly. The ever-popular classifieds, as well as tenders and vacancies, can also be found in the Market Watch, which is a part of the daily NMH newspapers, namely Republican, Algemeine Zeitung, and Namibian Sun, reaching audiences all over the country and possible new clients.
Okay, with me here is Cliff Shikuambi, who is one of the many hands behind the Erongo Business and Tourism Expo that is taking place at the Walvis Bay municipality. Now, Cliff, we're sort of halfway into the Expo. How is it going?
Leandre, I can tell you without a doubt that the excitement in the town of Walvis Bay is a hype.
Yes.
You've seen it for yourself, the play park, you've seen it how the exhibitors are doing their thing. The SME stores are buzzing. Yes. We've received positive feedback about great proceeds being made. They actually labeling it as the best, or in fact the highlight of the year for them as businesses. So you can actually see that in their individual capacities from where they trade, they're not generating as much money as they're generating right now at this exposition. So that for us is a highlight. You see the corporate stands fully manned. They've come out in numbers. I understand from my colleagues as well that NAMRA signed up. NAMRA is putting up their stall. They're exhibiting as well. Yeah, coming through, talking about the tax submissions and so forth. So we're excited, really. We're really excited. We're sitting in the exposition symposium right now. And this as well is another value add that's drawing numbers and very fruitful discussions to the exposition. So I must really tell you in a nutshell, we're excited and we're really looking forward to ending this exposition with a bang.
Awesome. Now, Cliff, tell us about how many stalls do we've got here and corporates, SMEs. Are the SMEs more than the corporates?
Well, funny enough, yes, they are. They certainly are. Look, the corporates tally about, say, almost 40, whereas the SME stalls are a little over, say, 60 or so. So that's a very, very big number if you'd add. I mean, in total, if I'm not mistaken, we have a total of about, say, 170 stalls. Now, you just take the 170 and if you go around the stalls, you'll see that every stall is manned by at least one or two principals. That will give you a rough appreciation of how many exhibitors we actually have on the grounds right now. But that's separate to the total feet that are walking in and out of the expo yards. That's just another number on its own. So we're quite excited, really. It's very big, and we're hoping that next year we go bigger.
Awesome. Now, Cliff, there's also a very smart partnership behind the Erongo Business and Tourism Expo. Your company is also involved. Just tell us about why did you decide to join forces, or why did the entities decide to join forces?
Well, Leandre, that's very good question. Look, the world, not just Namibia, was plagued by COVID-19. And when COVID-19 hit the shores of the world, including Namibia, many businesses shut their doors. Some died during the process. The Erongo region was longest closed down because this is primarily, where the pandemic was first detected, and we were literally closed for trade for the longest of time. Now 2 years was just way too much, So the exposition in itself is in existence for about 16 years. For 2 years, it couldn't trade, marking this the 14th year that we're trading since its establishment in 2006. Now, after the reopening for business, and I'm very excited about the fact that we can trade now again and make money, and of course also just promote economic development in the country. The Erongo Business and Tourism Expo, in partnership with the Walvis Bay municipality, where we are exhibiting from, and of course my business LSK Consulting, just taught us again that if you want to go far, you need to smart. You need to rethink the way you do business, because on your own, you go far, you go fast, right? But together, you can go far. Hence, the birth of the theme of this year's exposition, rethink, reimagine, and reinvent value chains for economic development post-COVID-19. And we're saying COVID-19 as the current pandemic. But who knows? Tomorrow the world could be plagued by another pandemic. So we basically saying is strengthen value chains, rethink the way we do business. It can never be business as usual. Let's adopt a business unusual principle, right? And strengthen your value chains, your networks with whom you do business, your supply partners, your supply networks, where you source your goods and services from. Strengthen that value chain, that in the midst of adversities, you don't just survive as a business, but then you are able to thrive as a business. So the symposium draws, say, the likes of the MTCs, the Erongo Reds, NAMDOC, and industry principles to also help us unpack, discussions around how you can rethink, how you can reinvent, how you can reimagine and restart, value chains, and how do we move forward now, knowing that it can never be business as usual.
Oh, no, definitely. I mean, the theme is so fitting to this year's Expo. Now, what can the people expect next year, Cliff?
Well, I can only say watch this space. But one thing that is certain, Leandre, is that it is going to be bigger. It will be better. And we are going to blow the rooftops of the nation. We are regarded as the third largest exposition in the country, second to the Windhoek Expo, Ngwediva Trade Fair, and now the Erongo region. But in the region, we are the premium exposition, and we want to raise that bar to be, if not the first exposition in the country, the premium exposition in Namibia. Walvis Bay, without a doubt, is the commercial hub of Namibia. This is where trade happens, right? We have the blue ocean with the blue economy. We've got the maritime sector. We've got the transport sector. We've got the mining sector in this region. I mean, we are so endowed with minerals and natural resources. So basically, this is a region that buzzes with economic activity. So we cannot just sit back and allow other regions to take top position. It has to happen here, and Erongo Business and Tourism Expo will set the standard for how expos and trade platforms should be done going forward.
Awesome. And then just finally, Cliff, your message to everyone that was involved, to the sponsors, the community. What would you like to tell them?
Leandre, this expo would not have been possible had it not been for the smart partnerships. Yes. Number one, thank you to we are so grateful to the Walvis Bay municipality for really having come on board. We're thankful to the Office of the Governor, who's really on board as not just the governor of this region, but also the patron of the exposition. We are equally thankful to our sponsor partners who came out in numbers, the MTCs, Erongo Red, NAMDOC, the Guans Packaging. The list is endless. Really, it is really, really endless. We would not have been where we are today, and this expo would not be the success that it is had it not been for our sponsor partners. So for next year, really, we still seek an anchor sponsor. We're willing to collaborate. We're open to collaborate, and we're calling on investors also to come on board to help us grow this platform. We have, for example, Alt Mutual that came on board to say, what, for next year, since the symposium was a success for themselves as an entity, but also for the brand Alt Mutual, that they'd like to take over, the symposium and sponsor the symposium next year. So it is not just an Erongo Business and Tourism Expo initiative. It is a Namibian initiative. It is a regional initiative. So it's our expo. Yes. So we call on everybody to really come on board to help this expo grow from better to best.
Awesome. Now there you have it, Cliff Shikuambi. Erongo Business and Tourism Expo is the place to be next year. So mark your calendars already.
Every year, October.
There we go. Thank you so much, Cliff.
Thank you, Leandre. Great meeting you.
Namibia sonder grense vertel weekliks die stories van Namibiërs wat oor see of elders in die buiteland werk. Die program nooi jou om saam te reis na nuwe bestemmings en meer oor ons mense, hul lewens, talente, sienswyses en Namibië se trotste wêreldwye voetspoor te leer. Volg Namibia sonder grense op Netwerk TV, NTV, oneup2.com en Republikein se Facebookblad. Namibia sonder grense handel oor uitreik, gesels, reis en wenke en soms toer ons na besienswaardighede in die land waar ons kuier. Kontak grense@synergy.com.na en vertel ons van Namibiërs wat jy oor see ken of om jou reisprodukte te adverteer. Namibia sonder grense, ons land oral in die wêreld.
Straight Talk is a debate competition for high school learners and a spelling competition for primary school learners, mostly focusing on current affairs among the youth. Contact Zone at synergy.com.na to share your products and services. Straight Talk. Don't raise your voice, improve your argument.
Namibia's hospitality is as vibrant as its people. Join the What's Cooking team as they travel the country cooking, chatting, and celebrating local personalities and the joy of food. If you think you have a standout offering, whether it's a restaurant, bar, pop-up event, or braai stand, get in touch with the What's Cooking team at cooking@synergy.com.na, and we will be there to show the world what's cooking. Programs air every Friday at 4 p.m. on all the NMH Facebook platforms, as well as on NTV, DSTV channel 285, and GoTV channel 94 at 9 p.m. The My.NA Cars Show provides viewers with the best in-class cars content, engaging interviews, as well as a showcase of the latest cars-related news, products, and services. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact My.NA at synergy.com.na. My.NA Cars, more than just a ride.
Sunset News is a daily news show focusing on national headlines as well as international news. The target audience of Sunset News is people in Southern Africa with access to the internet and daily newspapers. Sunset News is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com, and cross-shared on the following Facebook platforms: Namibian Sun, Republicane, Algemeine Zeitung, Namibia Media Holdings. Sunset News focuses on news, community stories, story of the day, economic news, international news, and sport. Contact sunset@synergy.com.na. Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.
And now, unfortunately, we have come to the end of our episode. But for more news, you can check out our website. That's at www.erongo.com.na. That's www.erongo.com.na. You can also send us your news tips at newstips@erongo.com.na. You can also share with us your story on our WhatsApp at 0811 7040. That's 0811 7040. Or you can also follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Alternatively, you can check out our online channel, that's oneup2.com. Or you can simply check us out on DSTV channel 285 or on GoTV channel 94. Now, unfortunately, for now, that was all. So until next time, it's goodbye.